Today's video is going to give you the scoop on what I consider to be the best clean beauty products on Amazon. Okay, so starting with primers, the Honest Beauty Everything primers. There's a glow version and a matte version. I have the glow version. I don't always believe in primers because I think that skincare, like if you just hydrate your skin, can really help you achieve whatever you want, like as far as a smooth finish. But if you want one that's going to help you achieve like a really glowy or a really matte finish, then these are really, really nice. I haven't tried the matte one, but what I like so much about this one is that it actually does give like a really glowy finish without being oily. This one is not oily at all. It's really liquidy. It feels great on the skin. And then my second suggestion for a skincare-esque primer product is the Weleda Skin Food. These are moisturizers. They have a light and a ultra rich, I think is what it's called, line. Both of them are really affordable. They just make the skin feel so supple and gorgeous. I've gone through the ones that I've used, so I don't have any to like hold up on camera for you, but totally worth it. Everything in this video is going to be linked down in the description if you want to check any of this out. Moving on to foundation, if you are looking for a traditional foundation that's kind of going to blend and morph into any look, I think the E.L.F. Flawless Satin Foundation is the best. As the name suggests, it has a satin finish. I think that it dries down really well. It's lightweight. It has like a slight scent to it, but nothing too crazy. The only trade-off that you're going to get with this is that it is vegan and it's cruelty-free, but it doesn't have the cleanest ingredients. Like, I don't think it's really gonna benefit your skin. I don't think it's gonna harm your skin either, but a lot of clean beauty foundations have a lot of skincare benefits, and this really just doesn't. It's just a foundation. If you are looking for something though that is kind of similar to that but is more in the clean beauty realm, I would go with the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. I guess it's kind of a satin finish. I guess it's a little more dewy than satin is probably how I would describe it. But it is lightweight and smoothing. It has aloe in it and a lot of other really great skincare benefits. So if you're looking for something that is similar to this, that's a little more clean beauty-y, yeah, then maybe go for this one. The thing is, there is going to be a price difference. This is probably going to be a little more expensive. If you're looking for a good BB cream, I think Burts Bees makes a really nice BB cream. I will put a picture up here somewhere because I think they make like a tinted moisturizer too, and that's not what I'm talking about. I would say it's light to medium coverage. You can definitely build it up a little bit, but it also has a pretty powdery finish, which I think kind of lends itself to being like a lightweight-esque feeling on the face, but it is still going to have those skincare benefits and be kind of cheap. For my people out there who really just want something that is a tint, that is lightweight, maybe has some SPF to it, that isn't going to be heavy, that isn't going to make you look cakey at all, BareMinerals Complexion Rescue is totally gonna be for you. But I almost consider this product to be like a toner or have a similar effect. It does have pigment to it and you can see it when you apply it, but it ends up drying down so lightweight. It's almost watery. It's so light and it just makes the skin look smoothed. It's a really nice product. There's SPF in it. Okay, so for concealer, the best overall concealer that I will always recommend in clean beauty is the Hynt Duet Perfecting Concealer. This I have used up and I just recycled because it was in my empties. It is a cream concealer. It can be super full coverage. You can also use a tiny amount of it and just sheer it out. It is gorgeous on the skin. It does dry down. It doesn't feel like wet all day. You can powder it and it will not move. And the longevity on that one is really great. I don't think it has ever faded off my face throughout the day. Next, for a more traditional liquid concealer, I really recommend the E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This one has a satin finish, but there is also a matte version of this. I've just heard that the matte version is really drying, so if you have super oily skin, maybe that's what you'll want to go for. But I love the hydrating version because I have super dry skin, and I think even if you had normal to like combo skin, you could get away with this for sure. If you want like a little duo that you can also do some color correcting with, I really recommend the Mineral Fusion Color Correcting Duo. I have this in the shade Neutral, and as you can see, there's like a color correcting shade and then my concealer shade. These two products are cream, and they are the most lightweight cream product. They're almost a cream to powder kind of finish, but it doesn't look super powdery and gross underneath the eye. It looks amazing. I also love that the color correcting shade that comes in it isn't neon because that's really intimidating to some people. It's just a nice peachy, usable everyday shade that's really easy to cover up. It's great. Moving on to bronzers, I would be remiss if I didn't recommend my favorite bronzer ever. This is the Alima Pure Monaloa bronzer. Oh my gosh, you can use it with a sponge, you can use it with a brush, and it will end up making your face look perfect. Like, oh, I'm just obsessed with this. Then for liquid, I have something that I've purchased recently and I can't stop using. This is the BareMinerals Bare Pro Glow bronzer. It says luminous, lifting, and lasting. It has a little pump, which is great. It does have a little bit of sheen to it, like it has some sparkly reflect in there. It's really, really fine. It's nothing glittery or chunky. And this dries down on the face beautifully. It will not move after the first few minutes of dry down. I think this would mix well with like foundations if you want more of a bronzy foundation look. And then finally, for a pressed powder bronzer, I recommend the Honest Beauty Luminizing powders. The kind of sucky thing about these is that there are only 2 shades. There's the Dusk Reflection, which is this, and this is like the bronzy shade. And then there's Midnight Reflection, I think, is the highlight shade, and it's like a lighter champagne-y color. But I cannot tell you just how healthy it looks. It's not even as much glitter or like sheen as the BareMinerals one that I was just talking about. By the way, the Alima Pure is matte, in case I didn't mention that. Moving on to blush, if you want just a really traditional, classic kind of powder pressed blush, I really recommend the Burts Bees blushes. This one is in the shade Toasted Cinnamon. This is a little bit more of like a brownie shade, but I do really like it. It is no secret that I don't love all of the makeup products in the Burts Bees makeup line, but a couple of them are just home runs somehow, and this is one of them. The blushes are really great. They have just enough pigment, they last throughout the day. It's kind of cute packaging, the little hexagonal shape. Then for cream blushes, I love the Honest Beauty, and I think this is talked about a lot in the clean beauty sphere. I have this in the shade Peony Pink. I think I could deal with a little more dry down from this. It still stays pretty creamy, but it's not wet by any means. And if you put like a powder or a setting spray over it, you won't have any issue. And then this is one that I have talked about a little bit more recently on the channel because I really love it. This is the Maiden Fern Blushing Balm from Living Libations. So I find that it kind of nourishes my skin and helps with skin texture when I do wear it. That may not be the case for you, but the really interesting part of this, it smells like slightly spicy, is that it has heat-inducing properties. So it has this nice like pomegranate-y tint that's just a really nice berry red cherry shade, but its heat-inducing properties actually make you flush. And it doesn't like make my skin feel hot, it's not that dramatic, but it does actually bring a little bit of blood to the surface, so it actually ends up making you flush. So you know that every time that you use this, you're gonna have a very natural color on your face, and I love that. If you want something super simple and easy to use on like an everyday basis, the Ilia multi-sticks are gorgeous. I have this in the shade At Last, and I think Ilia has come out with some of the most beautiful and usable, realistic shades in their multi-sticks that just are like addictive. The only thing is it claims to be a multi-stick, and I think it kind of like dries weird on the mouth, but it does dry down and it stays, and it's gorgeous. The colors are beautiful. You should really check them out. For highlights, I really recommend the Cocoa Kind sticks. I have 2 of them, the Chaga Glow and the May Light. There's also a gold one. They are a little bit dry coming out of the tube, so they need a little warming either on the back of the hand or on the face as you use them. I also use both of these on the eyes for like a really simple everyday look all the time. But yeah, so if you're interested in one of the shades, I'll link those down below, but I'll try to remember to link like the pack of 3 that they also sell if you're interested in just owning all 3 of them. For powder, I only have one thing to recommend, and that is the Honest Beauty setting powder. I love this. I know that there are a couple other setting powders that people really, really love in clean beauty. The Ilia one, I think, is one of them. Maybe I'll link that down below because I think all of Ilia is sold on Amazon from what I can tell. But this is definitely going to be a cheaper version, and it is 100% beautiful. It is really finely milled. It doesn't have a scent to it. It just does what it's supposed to do. It is just my go-to. It's definitely my favorite setting powder I own, and I own quite a few. Okay, we're getting down to the last few categories, guys. Next is eyeshadow, and I only picked 2 for this category. One is the E.L.F. Bite Size eyeshadow palettes. I have this in the colorway Rose Water. They do come in quite a few different shades. I think there are maybe 8 different ones that you can purchase in the little like bite-size quads. A couple of them definitely skew more toward like glam or a night out. Some skew more toward like everyday. The formula is really great. It's blendable, it's smooth, it does have a good amount of pigment. The shimmers are actually quite shimmery. And then if you want a bigger palette that is still going to be able to do almost anything for you, the Honest Beauty Get It Together palette. There are so many things to say about this palette. First of all, it is all cardboard, so it's recyclable. And then looking at the colors, Honest Beauty does one thing really, really well, which is using neutral colors in pretty much all of their products. There for sure are a couple shades that you could use for just a daytime look. There are a couple shades that you could use if you want some glitter to like transition into a nighttime look. And there is also a matte white and a matte black. And overall, the actual pigment and blendability in these is really good. I wouldn't say it's the best formulation I've ever used, but it's definitely solid. It's definitely comparable to like the E.L.F. bite-size eyeshadow palettes. For mascara, I have 3 recommendations. The first, of course, is the Honest Beauty mascara. This is beautiful. It is lengthening, honey. It comes with a primer side. This pink side comes out with like an individual primer stick that you use to prime the lashes first. It also works really well as a brow gel. Pro tip. And then this side comes out with a mascara wand. It is really like a good black. It's a dark black. It's not super volumizing, but if you want fluttery, gorgeous, long butterfly lashes, this is great. It is probably my favorite mascara ever. And then the second for just volume is the Burt's Bees Nourishing Mascara. I think if I could just have this in the Honest Beauty for the rest of my life, I would be so set. This guy though clumps lashes a little bit to get like a little bit of drama and volume. It's not super lengthening, but it is also pretty darn dark. It's also a little bit drier, which I like because as opposed to like my other mascaras that I've tried, this isn't going to smudge throughout the day, at least not on me, it doesn't. I will say though, I've tried the other mascaras from Burt's Bees and this is the only one that is worth your money. And then I threw this in here just because I think it's a good all-around mascara. I have the mini of it, but this is the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. I think it does a little bit of both in terms of like volumizing and lengthening. If you want something that's just really well-rounded like that, this is your girl. For eyeliner, I have one recommendation for liquid liner. That is the Well People liquid liner. This is not a brush tip, it's kind of shaped like one. And it's not really a felt tip either. It almost feels a little plasticky. The amazing part is it is just slightly flexible. So it's pretty stiff. So you can draw a really precise line and it's not going to bend and move on you in a way that is going to make you make a mistake. Then for just a standard eyeliner pencil, I think the Burt's Bees pencils are really great. I will tell you though, don't get the retractable ones. Get the wooden pencils. I don't know why there's a difference, but the retractable ones, I have 2 of them. They're horrible. The pigment is really light. Like it just does not define the eye at all, but then also it does not stay. I have to like carve it into my eye for anything to come out of it. They're just not good. But this guy is a little more buttery, stays throughout the day, and looks good. For eyebrows, I recommend E.L.F. products, basically. That's all I have for you guys. The 2 that I'm using right now that I really enjoy is this Instant Lift Brow Pencil. It has a spoolie on one end, and then it's a retractable pencil on the other end. And then the Wow Brow Gel from E.L.F. has a really great little spoolie that I think combs through the brows well. There's quite a bit of pigment in it. It holds my brows in place. Finally, we have made it to lips, and I am really excited about this category because I just picked the ones that I am excited about right now that I think anyone would love. I'm not even gonna save the best for last. This is the best out of the 4 that I'm gonna be talking about, I think. This is the Ilia lip conditioner. I have a mini of it. They do come in bigger sizes. I have this in the shade Forever. These are pigmented and have a really beautiful hue to them. They're a little bit more than just like a gloss or a tint. They are tinted lip conditioners, but it looks really gorgeous on. Again, Ilia is so good at creating shades that are just gorgeous and stunning on people. But also, this does condition my lips. It feels amazing on the lips, just so comfortable and buttery smooth. It doesn't like bleed outside the lip line really. The only thing that you probably should know about it before you purchase it is that it will wear off within, you know, an hour, maybe 3 if you're not eating. Like, you will have to reapply it over time. Next is the Well People Optimist lipstick. So it has that spy packaging that I talk about where you press the button over here and it pops out. I really like this. I have this in the shade Soulmate. This is just kind of like a peachy shade. It's not necessarily that I adore the shade. It is a really nice shade and I enjoy it, but it's really just the formulation on this. It is a semi-matte lipstick. It's creamy when it goes on. It's just stiff enough that it's not going to bleed outside the lines. It warms up a little bit once it touches the lips. I'd say it's kind of like a dry stiff at first. I think these are really underrated products. You should totally try one of them. The only downside is that I think they only have maybe 6 shades. There aren't a ton to choose from. But if you can find one that you like, totally try it. Then I have the Mineral Fusion lipsticks. I just picked one of the shades I have in this. This is the shade Flashy. It's more of like an orangey red. I love this during fall. I love these because they're so freaking hydrating. They do bleed outside the lips a little bit because they're a little watery, so just use a lip liner with them and they do great. Plus it just looks really luxurious. Then my last recommendation for lips is the Honest Beauty Liquid Lips. I have the shade Love here. They're like a really beautiful red. These are just a very comfortable matte lip in terms of matte lips. You still probably have to put like a balm on underneath or on top of it, but I really like them. They stick around. It almost has like a moussey texture going on, and then when it dries down, it just kind of feels comfortable. I think they're a really great option. All right, guys, thank you so much. That is it for this video on my Amazon recommendations. I really hope that you guys got something from it. I hope you found something. Don't forget that all of these are going to be linked in the description down below. If you're interested in any of them, then you can just click on that and it'll take you to Amazon. Also, if you do click on any of the links down in the description to purchase one of these products, I will get a small commission at no extra cost to you to help fund the channel. So I would really appreciate that. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.